from her, just a brief update, preparing us going into our budget cycle. So, Dr. Stefanski, again, thank you so much for being here. And I see you even brought some assistance, huh?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair and Mayor President and members of the council for allowing me to briefly give you all an update and talk about the progress that we've made at the Lafayette Parish Health Unit and look into the future progress that we hope to make. And I will be very fast. I talk quick to begin with, so don't worry. And with me is Jessica Jolly. Jessica is new to the Office of Public Health. She actually works in New Orleans and so represents the state level Office of Public Health. So, I think they have great respect for the work that we do here through the Lafayette Parish Health Unit. And I can tell you that, that this health unit is really a shining star among health units statewide. We're the second busiest health unit in the state. So, not only are we a busy place, but very efficient and provide a great quality of service to the people that walk through our doors. And the two ladies in the back with me, Sheila Traha and Paula Ratcliffe, are the lead nursing clerk at the health unit. So, so the great work that is done there is, really through the work of these ladies and the staff that work with them. So just really quickly a brief review. So the public health unit actually has a dedicated millage, and in 2015 there was actually a vote, a public vote to combine our millage. So we previously had a separate millage for the public health unit. It was combined with animal control and mosquito control. So now it's a public health millage is the term. And so again, it is a dedicated millage that exists for those three programs. The work that we do through the health unit, for those of you all who aren't familiar, so protecting the community, promoting health. In general, we're there for, when you talk about protecting the community, emergency preparedness. So our agency, the Department of Health, is the lead in any disaster. We're the lead agency to respond to the health and medical needs. And I'll talk a little bit about our response to the flood in a second. But we provide immunizations primarily to children, as Mr. Boudreaux said, through the public health unit, but we also have some adult vaccines. And we've been very proactive in vaccinating children and adults, especially adults with chronic illness and who have long-term health problems, who really have difficulty finding some of these immunizations through their doctors. So we're very proud of that work. We also daily see patients with sexually transmitted diseases. In the state of Louisiana, we have the highest rates in the country. We're #1 for syphilis, congenital syphilis, that's babies born exposed to syphilis, and gonorrhea, and we're #2 for chlamydia rates. So we see STD patients every day through the health unit. And TB, we still have cases of tuberculosis in this state. We have a TB clinic once a week, and we see, a few times a week patients and their contacts for tuberculosis for testing and treatment. Then promoting health, we do lots of other preventive health services. So we do breast and cervical cancer screenings at the health unit. We refer out for mammograms. We have women's health and men's health clinics. We also have a WIC clinic. It's a nutritional program for pregnant women and children through age 5. And we're the busiest health unit as far as WIC services are involved in the state. We see the highest volume of WIC patients, WIC clients. And then we also have a more regional clinic, Children's Special Health Service and Genetics. So through the health unit, we have about 2,200, 2,300 people every month walk through the door for personal health services. That's not environmental health. So it's a very busy place. So I'll move real quick to the next two slides. In 2013, actually leading up to 2013, we had a huge problem, and I met with several of you all to really implore you to try to help us correct the problem. We were not able to meet the public health needs of this parish with the staffing that existed at that time, and with state budget cuts, there was no hope on the horizon. And I can tell you, other parishes are still struggling with that in other parts of the state. They're still at this point, and it shows in those communities. Fortunately, so what we did is came before you all and requested some additional funding using public health unit millage dedicated funds. So, and so the next slide, just implications, was what I had talked again in 2013. If we continue to that current staffing level, there's really huge implications and concerns for the public health of this parish. So we've made great progress. You all approved the additional funding of 5 registered nurses and 2 clerks for the public health unit in Lafayette. I really cannot tell you, and with all sincerity, I take my job very seriously. I feel very much responsible for the health of the people in this parish. And without those registered nurses and the clerks to support them, we would have a much bigger problem in this parish. We're a very growing, vibrant community, but along with that comes lots of public health concerns, and we really work very hard every day to meet those concerns. And I know those ladies behind me would tell you that. So my eyes are worse than they were a couple of years ago, so I can't see those slides. So I want to make sure I hit all the high points. Again, we hired those 5 additional nurses and 2 clerks. All of our nurses are STD-trained nurse clinicians. They're the only nurses in the state, public health nurses are, that can actually assess and treat someone for a sexually transmitted disease. It's a special designation by the State Board of Nursing. No other nurse can do that. So our nurses are all STD-trained, meaning when someone comes in with symptoms or exposure, a positive test, we can actually treat them right there, which improves compliance and decreases further transmission. We have APRN, so nurse practitioner-led clinics 4 days a month, 4 days a week at the health unit. Previously, we had these APRN clinics only 1 day a week. So we increased to 4 days a week, and we hired, and we have a Spanish-speaking nurse practitioner, so we have a Spanish clinic once a week. None of that would be possible without the nurse and clerical support. We're able to see all walk-ins, which really deters ER visits. A few years ago, we were having a big problem with patients showing up at the emergency room for treatment. We also implemented a new TB prophylaxis regimen. It's very nurse-intensive, so this is when someone's exposed to tuberculosis but doesn't have the disease or the active infection. There's a new recommendation for, it's a very nurse-intensive treatment, but it's a shorter course, increases compliance, so should decrease disease burden in a community. So in the words of our TB program, when I talk to them about it, is there's no way we would be able to do this in this parish without these nurses because of the nurse involvement. And again, it's really a model for the rest of the state. Flood response, our nurses worked in the general shelter along with the Red Cross staff and lots of you parish officials working with these patients and clients in the general Red Cross shelter at the Hyman Center. And we also provided over 400 tetanus immunizations in this parish free of charge. And those are state-purchased vaccinations. We're now working to do more outreach activities, health fairs. This month we've had a couple of events at UL where we really focused on prevention, educating students about sexually transmitted diseases, and we tested over 200 of them free of charge for 4 sexually transmitted diseases. HIV and syphilis was a rapid test, so they got their results right then, and then chlamydia and gonorrhea. And we did that in conjunction with the Student Health Center and the UL School of Nursing, but the state funded the testing and will fund the treatment if there is any treatment needed. We're also working with pregnant women who come to us for WIC clinic to talk to them about the dangers of alcohol and drug use in pregnancy and to try to link any of those who are having an issue with treatment and care in this region. And also, just in general, the next slide shows you the increase in personal health visits to the Lafayette Parish Health Unit. So this was, back in 2013, you see that those initial numbers, and they continue to grow as we have hired those staff and everyone's been trained. So we can expect to see that continue. So, really, I'm most excited to talk to you about what we do as far as looking for towards the future. That we're going to, continue to have conversations with you all. We haven't met all of the needs of the public health concerns in this community. When I came to you all in 2013, it was because we had a huge bond and we were in a huge bind, and we were behind the curve. We were trying to catch up, which is what I feel like we've done now with getting all of these, wonderful employees on board. But we really want to continue to increase utilization of services at the health unit. We want to work to outreach to communities that can't get to us. So we working with community leaders in the healthcare community, the religious community, to try to figure out where these pockets of individuals are and figure out how we can bring services to them. We want to continue to identify other public health priorities and concerns and to try to figure out how to address them. For example, in my mind, something next is hypertension and diabetes, trying to figure out how can we partner with other people in this community to figure out how to help individuals with those issues. The health unit's in a great location. It's a great facility. It's got a lot of trust of the community, and we have a lot of people walking in the doors for other services, personal health and environmental. So if we can capitalize on that and expand and try to meet the needs of individuals, that's what we want to do. And then lastly, something that I'm very excited about, and Mr. Duyon's been a great help to us on figuring this out, as has your legal and Lori Toops. We're going to start a public mental and behavioral health clinic for children at the health unit, a child psychiatry clinic. And as I say that, Jessica's probably laughing because it's very much out of the box. It's not a true public health clinic. It's a public health concern. Young children with mental health needs who cannot find medical services. So you all, through the Millage Fund and a small contractor, are contracting with a Tulane child psychiatrist And so she'll conduct clinics once or twice a month at the health unit, and we want to see that grow. There's, again, a huge need. There are very few child psychiatrists, and really none who see very young children. And what we want to do is work with our private partners, therapists, hospitals, and try to figure out how to really just have an ideal program, a great program for families, because these young children with mental and behavioral health needs, so autism, ADHD, occupational defiance disorder, all of these problems, it affects the whole family, it affects the school systems, it affects everyone. And so we want to try to figure out how to really create a model and expand and grow that and make all of these links so that we can help families and children, for the future, so everyone meets their ultimate goals. So thank you. And I will say that the state too is stepping up in that, because this is not a traditional public health clinic. Our hands were a little bit tied, but so with the state, while we can't hire a physician to come into that clinic and see these children, the state has agreed to hire a social worker. So again, the only place in the state where there'll be a full-time social worker who can do therapeutic interventions and assessments for children and their families. So Jessica's been a great help too in helping me figure this out, because again, it's a new program, it's novel, but we really want this to work. And so again, none of this could be done without the work of this, without the support of you all in this millage. And we take it very, these are, we're good fiscal agents, I guess, of your money. We know that it's here, we have a lot of needs in this community, clearly. And so we just want you to know that, that we're working hard to address the needs, and we want to have this conversation with you in the future about future needs.
Well, I certainly want to thank you, and an excellent report. It was funny, you say your eyes was going bad, but we don't offer eye services there.
No, we don't.
Anyway, the purpose was kind of what you brought to us, in that, especially with health-related issues, looking into the future is so important. When we did this millage consolidation, which I did support, still support today, but I made it very, very clear that I didn't want it to have any negative effect or hindering effect on the function and operation of the health unit, because it is so valuable. And when I talk about that value, I heard you talk today about a lot of things that we lead in that are good, and a lot of things we lead in that are bad. And when you talk about, I think you said we're the number one, or the second busiest in the state. That just speaks volumes for me on the services that are being offered. So please keep us informed. I think that this council and this government understands how valuable you all are. We don't know what's going to be the future of the Affordable Care Act and what impact that has going forward. It may lessen the need, or it may increase the need, depending on what direction things go. So we thank you for that, and just don't be afraid to share your professional thoughts and opinions with us as it relates to serving Lafayette. I had asked you for some information you sent about a year or so ago, because every time I turn on the news, there seemed to be some outbreak in another parish, or something dealing with our mosquitoes and other things. And we had been fortunate here, rabies and things of those nature. So, and I tell people that that's because of our preventative programs, our educational programs. And when those things don't exist, that's why it's happening in other parishes, because they did not put the resource out. We have a dedicated millage that the people have approved. Someone opined that it was overperforming, and it was my opinion that it was underutilized. Let's get the things done that we need to get done to be the healthiest parish in the state of Louisiana, and in this country, for that matter. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any council comments or questions for this presentation? Administration, any? Okay. Doc, again, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And our visitors from the state, thank you all for coming out as well. Glad to see you all in Lafayette.
Thank you all.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we're going to move to ordinances for final adoption. Again, this is a public hearing, and blue sheets are available for anyone wishing to address the council. The 5-minute rule does apply. Jeremy, could you please read item number 9?
Ordinance 34, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council declaring the two buildings or structures located at 216 5th Street, Lafayette, Louisiana, owned by Stephen Scott Rogers to be dilapidated and dangerous to the public welfare and ordering the condemnation of same.
Motion by Mr. Lewis or Castillo, and second by Nakam. Any council discussion at this point? There are no specific questions at this time. Blue cards?
We have two speakers, first of which Jerry Leslie.
Leslie?
First, I'd like to thank the council, councilmen, councilwomen, mayor, president for allowing me to address you concerning this ordinance and 216 5th Street. Thank you to my District 4 councilman, also Kenneth Boudreau. I have three brief points that I would like to bring. The first is my affiliation with the property. Secondly, the historical significance of the structure. And third, what we're doing to bring the property into compliance. First point, my affiliation with the property in 1977, 40 years ago, I rented 216 5th Street. Began my business there. At the time I resided there. I married, lived there with my wife, and presently I use the building for storage. It is a good, solid structure. It is not dilapidated and dangerous. Secondly, the historical significance of the property. In the one block of 5th Street between the Evangeline Thruway and Chestnut, there are 5 wood frame houses and 1 brick house. All of those 5 wood frame houses were built in the early 1900s. They're all historical structures. At one time they were residences. This residence, or this building, 216 5th Street, was the Hernandez family home. Mr. Rogers, who is the owner, his grandmother was raised in this home. And 216 5th Street is part of the Macomb subdivision. That was basically built around the Iron Horse, the Southern Pacific Railway. That railway and its residences helped bring prosperity to our city, to Lafayette. I just want to make this point. These early 20th century homes are disappearing rapidly, mostly due to the I-49 corridor. They're being removed. But 216 5th Street is not in the path of the I-49 corridor. Again, this building is a good, solid structure. It is not dilapidated and dangerous. And there is historical and family interest in saving our structure at 216 5th Street. My third and final point is what we're doing to bring the building into compliance. There was a second structure behind the house that has been removed. It was demolished and removed. The main building, we have exterior repairs that we've made on the building. And we've done siding, pier work, foundation work, and washing and painting is next. In closing, I just want to say again, this is a good, solid structure that I implore you to help save. If you would please consider saving our structure at 216 5th Street, I would be very appreciative. If you would please consider saving that structure, I'd be very appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker?
Final speaker, Stephen Rogers.
Good evening. I just wanted to state, about a month and a half ago, Mr. Randy Viator's, one of his workers, contacted me trying to find the property and said I had a subpoena. So, they served me the subpoena, and within a month and a half, I talked to Jerry, and, they had the small house that was in back of the big house, and he's already tore it down, and it's clean. He's patched the sides of the building, and his intentions are to have everything washed and painted. And I think of the situation, I think we've made some, tremendous progress. And and continuing to, get this place cleaned up and take these and stuff and addressed, most of the things that were brought up within this subpoena.
Thank you. I know this was the item that you came for. I just want to give you an opportunity. You have been the complainant on this particular property, certainly since I've been on this council, and I got here in '08. So I wanted to just hear where we particular property. I know some work has in fact been done, but I wanted to hear from you as it relates to what you.
I moved at 208 5th Street in 1996. So it's 21 years I've been 216. From my point of view, to look at the place, it was supposed to be done, and 3 was supposed to be painted. It was supposed to be cleaned up, because I was complaining about the homeless sleeping on the back porch, using it as a motel. I live next door, and I had to get up and ask them to please move. Answer to me was, I spoke to them to be there. You had on the back porch, you had prostitute on the back porch. My wife was driving trucks, and I was leaving at early morning, and a lot of times she would say she was hearing noise back there. It had banana trees back there. They was doing the business in the banana trees. They was using it, as I said, of it. I even spoke to Jerry a few times, and I told him about it, and I had to do with the next best thing that I had to do. And yes, but what you're going to do with 216? I mean, you can't come and patch up nothing. If you're going to do something right, you're going to have to do $1,000 in equity in my house last year, because they compared my house. All right, and I lost $5,000. So if I had to sell this house with the condition of both house on both sides of me, I couldn't get the money I wanted to get for it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think nobody would want to buy it because of the homeless sleeping on the back porch, in the alley, doing their business all over the place, and it just looked terrible.
Let me, I wanted to ask you, but you kind of addressed it for me already to say fast forward. So the work that has been done as of today, and we're going to get an update from the inspector in a second, but the work that has been done up to date, and we was provided with some pictures, the back house has been torn down, the back building, the shed or the storage, whatever it was back there, has been torn down, and some work has been done on the main structure at 216, which actually was 2 different locations. This was a 2-part issue here. One was 205, and one was 210, I'm sorry. So share with me in current time the condition of the property today as it relates to how does that affect you?
Well, you mean how it's affecting me today?
Yeah, right.
Well,
based on what has been done. I mean,
well,
I got a clear view of the history, but based on what's been done, the condition of the property today?
Well, the condition of the property, I'm seeing that he had somebody doing some patch-up work where he said he's going to have it painted. But my thing is, I mean, why wait until we have to push the issue? Why it couldn't have been done before? And the money that I lost, been losing on my equity on my house, I can't get it back. So what I'm trying to say, make a long story short, is you can patch up, you can put Band-Aid on something for a while, but if you're going to look at the whole infrastructure, the whole house, I mean, I have right now I have to call a termite to go, even to start termite in my house because of the condition of the house. The house, to my point, you cannot patch it up. You have to either do it right, come from structure up, and do it right, or it's just not up to code.
Okay, all right, thank you very much, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Mr. Viator, I want to get the report first so we could get the full picture, then we're going to open up for questions. Yeah. Mr. Viator, could you, we've heard from both parties, could you now give us the current inspection, please?
Yes, they tore down the back house, and they started repairs on the front house. I wish they would have started the repairs at first when I did talk to Mr. Leslie. If they would bring the exterior up to code, change whatever rotten wood they have, and paint the house, then we couldn't condemn it or anything.
What year did you start working on this property?
2005.
2005. Okay. As far as contact with the landowner, not the person who leased it, when was the first time you made contact with the landowner?
2005.
In '05, these issues was brought to light?
Yes, he signed a certified letter showing what repairs are needed.
Okay. And was any repairs done prior to this time that you are aware of?
Not really, no.
The house is structurally sound?
I would say that, yes.
Okay. Mr. Bellard?
Yes, Randy, everything that I'm reading in here, that the house has always been vacant and secure. And I guess what I'm trying to draw is since '05 current, it's always been vacant and secure. And what I'm hearing, and I might be hearing the wrong thing, but our code violation is painting clean and rotten wood on the front.
Right. It has been a problem house with homeless people. They do break in, but the owner does secure it, or Mr. Leslie does secure it. If they would just change the rotten wood and paint the exterior, it's up to code as far as we're concerned for the outside, because they use the inside just for storage.
Because one of the things I do is I go down this whole list, and yes, he should have done it sooner. I will totally agree with that. But it's always been vacant and secure.
Right.
So he's done something. He's not.
Yes, they did secure it whenever we'd ask them.
In '05 is what it states right here. In 2/28/06, follow-up inspection was made. The house was vacant and secure.
Yes,
That was, so basically, he hasn't painted the house or cleaned the front, or cleaned it.
yeah.
And that's why it's not up to code.
And it's a cypress house, so, you know, you don't have termite damage on cypress, but you do have rot.
Has he ever, grass code violations out here, not cut the yard?
I don't really know. Usually, the yard is cut, I think.
And I guess, and I just don't want to get to the point to where if a house isn't painted or cleaned, or that we start doing that. In no way do I agree he should ignore any of our letters, or there's no excuse for not doing anything. But on the other hand, if it's structurally sound, and I'm going to listen to some more, but to me, if just painting and cleaning is all this gentleman needs to do, yes, he should have done it earlier, but it seems to me that he's doing it if he already demolished the other one.
Right. They did a lot of work in the last month, ever since they got the show cause notice.
Okay, I just want to listen before I say any more. Thank you.
Randy, just for some clarity, to make sure that I'm understanding this the right way, when you say the house is secured and safe, that was after a complaint was made, it would go get corrected. It wasn't continuously secured from '05 to 2017. On multiple occasions, a break-in occurred, a complaint was filed, notification was given, they would go secure it, and that has happened.
Yes, that is correct. And what brought about the problem was we were getting complaints from the neighborhoods. And the owner did demolish the back house.
Right.
So
Right.
we included everything.
I'm like
altogether.
Mr. Bellard. I'm inspired and motivated by the work, and I met with the owner and the tenant. We had a really good meeting, and I'm inspired by the work, but I'm also very conscious of Mr. Leday and the conditions that he had to deal with. And it's a perfect storm right here for what we have before us, because as you indicated, the work started when we come forward with the ordinance. That's what Operation Blight Out has achieved, is that it motivates people to get to work, because historically, no one would move. We sent letters, Randy talked to them, asked them to do something, it just wouldn't get done, and there was no means of getting it done. Until we started this process, that was the response. And it still affords them, and I've shared this with them, that it doesn't all end today. That they have a way to obtain out the bond within our process, continue to work, and if that work, once our inspector is satisfied with that work, and I've told them, we go according to the code. Unfortunately, they got some things that don't look good, but we could only administer the code. So even today, what has been done has to continue. So I just wanted to be clear, because I think the way Mr. Bellard had asked the question, it seemed like in '05, there was a complaint. '06, it was considered secured and safe, and we haven't had a problem since. And that's not what was happening. Mr. Lewis.
Yes, I'm trying to understand this process right here, that since 2005, there have been some complaints. Okay, then whoever owns the property had been going and probably do a little repair, but the house has never been occupied, if I'm understanding correctly. Never been occupied by anyone, but homeless or people that, like Mr. Taylor saying, doing their own thing. So what I'm getting at, what's gonna happen once he paint the house and do whatever he needs to do? Will they occupy the house, someone will live in that house, or just become abandoned again? Can anyone answer that?
It's actually a storage. It's being used for storage. The owner leases it to another individual, and that individual lives down the street, but he uses that facility to store some of his product from his business. So it's not going to be domiciled by people. And that's part of the homeless problem, is that there's no one there to run them off or prevent them from coming.
So is that correct? So y'all just using it for storage? I don't know who owns the house, so I'm asking the question in general to the person that owns it.
I use the building for storage, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I go by the building, check it out every day. I'm 2 blocks away, and I always secure it. I've always kept it secure.
Yep.
My neighbor seemingly dislikes the old house.
Yeah, that's enough from the
That's good.
floor. You got
That's
your
good.
question answered.
Yeah.
That answers that. You
Okay.
still got the floor, Mr. Lewis.
No, I'm fine with that. That's all I want to know, what's going to happen with the house, but being that it's being used for storage, okay.
Mr. Bellard.
Yeah, and just in clarity, what I was trying to state is, normally when I see a sheet from '05 current, they've never done anything to secure it, and this is a slam dunk issue, as it normally is. Today's state of that building, is it dilapidated and dangerous after he's done remove the other one and what he's already done, just because it's not painted and clean?
I would say it's still dilapidated, but they need to change the rotten wood and paint it, and then it's up to code as far as the exterior of the house.
And how long you think that would take?
If they would be working like they did, I mean, within a month, I would assume it would be done.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Terrio.
Yes, Mr. Bellard asked the question I was getting at. We've done this countless times before. You just mentioned that in your opinion, it is dilapidated. So if this council approves this ordinance, they have the appropriate time after acquiring the bond and doing what they have to do. If they meet all the requirements, the house will not be torn down.
Right.
So this council's done this numerous times, guys. In the condition that it's in, if this has been going on since '05, with the track record that they have, I say we move forward, and then the owners, if you guys do what's required to bring it up to code, you won't have any problems with that. It won't be torn down, the structures or anything. By us just passing the ordinance, it's just going to require you to meet that code, and if you don't, then it will be torn down. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Mr. Castillo?
Randy, since 2005, you wouldn't have the number of complaints received on this facility, on this building.
Well, the police would probably have the complaints as far as the homeless, but Mr. Leday has called a lot of times, yes.
Okay, I guess not the owner, but the leasee, can you come up for a second? I got a couple questions for you.
Mic is on.
Yes, sir.
What have you done since you've been leasing this thing or renting it, whatever, to secure this facility and keep the homeless out?
If I can recall what I said earlier is, I started my business there. I was there for many, many years, and then I used it as storage, and I'm 2 blocks away from there, sir. But every time, I have a no trespassing order signed with the police department, and anyone is able to call the police. My help goes down there every day, picks up trash. We keep up the lawn. We keep the grass up. We just haven't washed and painted it. As Randy said, in the past month, we've done a lot of work. I run a business, so oftentimes there's other things to do besides work on my storage building, but I want to get it up to compliance. We have changed, I don't know about a lot of rotted wood left, but we have changed a lot of wood. It needs to be pressure washed. We have a contractor in New Iberia that pressure washes homes, and he's supposed to come do that work for us, sir, and then we'll begin the painting process. But I secure that building. We go by it every day. Unfortunately, there is a large homeless population, and we just have to watch it all the time.
Okay, I really would hate to see that thing torn down, but you do need to fix it and correct
sir.
the issues. But as far as for the homeless and the things that go on at night,
Yes, sir.
when you're not around, I suggest you get with the police department and maybe ask for some extra patrol or something to help out the neighborhood. Try to be a good neighbor. You only live 2 houses down, you said, or 2 blocks down?
Yes, sir. But we do go run off the homeless. There's just a lot of homeless, and they
I
show
understand.
up. They show up at all hours of the day.
I think there's a little more effort on your part to secure this house at night, especially for the neighbors, would go a long ways.
Yes, sir.
But I understand the house is structurally sound. It's a all cypress house. If you ever decide to tear it down, let me know. Once I'm gone from here, of course. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes, sir. Well, do they have utilities?
Mr. Leslie,
Yeah,
he wants to ask you another
Yeah.
question.
Is there utilities in it connected?
Oh, yes,
to
sir.
the
Utilities have
utility?
been connected. Atmos Energy for gas. We've had utilities since 1977, sir. I pay them every month.
Every month, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's a business that you're operating, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I guess your grandfather, commercial business in a residential area.
I was grandfathered in when I got a business permit in 1977, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other council discussion? Are there any other blue cards? Okay, all right. I'm moving forward. There was the question of what was gonna happen. Like I said, I had a meeting with the owner and the leasee. I've met numerous times with the complainant on this particular issue. Like they said, there's a significant homeless population there, and the issues are long-standing, and they are challenging for that resident. The process affords, the desire to salvage the house is a very simple process. The ordinance allows for them to secure a bond, which will halt within, I think, 7 days or 8 days, which will halt any condemnation process or any desire to demolish, and that the work that they've done in the last month, after the last 10 years, of course, will continue and be completed. And then everybody, the situation gets satisfied. Again, it's this process that drives this bus. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, and I have all the confidence in the world, just in talking to Don and Elise, that they want to fix this and they're gonna continue that work. But the obligation to the complainant is to assure that we have done the things that we can do to make sure that work gets done. So I'm gonna certainly move forward with this ordinance and recommend approval. And then I would ask that Randy, as we always do, get with, I shared with them a little of how it works, but get with them and explain to them the bond and where we go from here. Okay? All right. There seems to be no other questions from council members, no other blue cards to honor. Okay? All right. Let's call the vote.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
No.
District 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Okay. Thank you. Again, I want to remind you that item number 10 has been deferred until April 4th, 2017. Jeremy, could you please read item number 11?
Ordinance 36, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Unified Development Code and the official map of the city of Lafayette, providing for the annexation of additional land into the corporate limits of the city of Lafayette, Louisiana, case number ZON 2017-6, 831 East Butcher Switch Road annexation, located generally north of East Butcher Switch Road and east of Gladiola Street, which is located within Lafayette City Parish Council District Number 2 for voting purposes, and assigning a zoning classification of residential single family.
Motion by Nakam, second by Cook. Council discussion? Seeing none, are there any blue cards? Please call the vote.
District 3? Yes. District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 37, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Unified Development Code and the official map of the city of Lafayette, providing for the annexation of additional land into the corporate limits of the city of Lafayette, Louisiana, case number ZON 2017-7, 925 West Broussard Road annexation, located generally south of Ridge Road and west of West Broussard Road, which is located within Lafayette City Parish Council District Number 5 for voting purposes, and assigning a zoning classification of commercial mixed.
Motion by Nakam, second by Cook. Council discussion. Here's none. Blue cards. Please call the vote.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2? District 3? Motion is approved. Ordinance 38, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Unified Development Code and the official map of the city of Lafayette, providing for the annexation of additional land into the corporate limits of the city of Lafayette, Louisiana, case number ZON 2017-8, 2629A and 2701 Vero School Road annexation, located generally north of Ambassador Caffrey Parkway and east of Vero School Road, which is located within Lafayette City Parish Council District Number 7 for voting purposes, and assigning a zoning classification of commercial heavy.
Motion by Nakam, second by Cook. Got that Nakam Cook going on tonight. Council discussion? There is none. Any blue cards? Please call the vote.
District 5? District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3? District 4?
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 41, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing and approving an administrative reorganization, reassigning responsibilities of the Emergency Operations and Security Division to the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer, eliminating one position, creating one unclassified position within the Lafayette Mayor President's Office, and amending the fiscal year 16-17 operating budget and manning tables of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government.
Motion by Nakam, second by Castile. Council discussion. Seeing none, Mr. Nakam.
Got a question for Mr. Robidoux. Sir, what's in the details? Like, why are we eliminating that position, and do you plan on filling it in the future? And if so, why unclassified position?
The reasoning behind the elimination of the position was the emergency operations, the function of that office really kind of overlapped a lot with the chief administrator's office already. And so it was, I felt like a duplication that was really unnecessary. Saying that, the CAO's office doesn't really have an unclassified position. They're allowed one unclassified position, and that goes for the secretary, and that's it. There's no availability for his office to have anyone help him in an unclassified position. The mayor's office, however, is unlimited, and so this individual would be someone that would be available to bring on board, that would be able to help the CAO's office, my office, with whatever initiative we need to help push forward, whatever work we need done. And so I think rather than have it defined so specifically to be for emergency operations, Lowell can handle the emergency operations piece, which kind of the flood proved out. And so it's more important that we have that position available to find somebody that can help out in a whole variety of ways.
Do we have a salary budgeted for that position?
We just transferred the dollar amount from the current position over to the unclassified, so we didn't change anything there.
Okay.
We got rid of the vehicle allowance and some other things that were part of that department. But there's a little bit of an additional cost for the new position, only because the individual that was in the classified position was in the old retirement system, the parochial retirement system. Anyone new that we bring in would be under the municipal retirement system, as all new hires are, and the contribution rate for the municipal is more than the contribution rate for the parish, the parochial system. So there'd be a few $1,000s under 10, probably in the 4,000 to 7,000 range, additional cost for that. But then there's savings for the car allowance and other things that we're getting rid of.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the explanation. I just was curious.
No, sure.
Thank you. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other council discussion? Any blue cards on this matter? No, sir. No blue cards. So we're gonna go ahead on and we're gonna call the vote on this issue.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7? Yes. District 8? Yes. District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Okay.
District 3? District 4?
Yes.
District 5? Motion is approved.
Okay, I had asked the clerk to take some action on my behalf, so just as a reminder, the charter calls for a vocal vote. It doesn't call for an electronic vote, so there's been no violations based on what just happened. The electronic vote is actually just a little extra, if you would, but the vocal vote is, with the record, is gonna actually reflect. At the same time, because it is a school night, I'm gonna take a chairman's privilege and deviate from the agenda just for a second. I saw we had a couple of scouts in the audience. I would ask them to come forward at this time. They're actually from the Cathedral, Troop number 405, and they're working on their citizenship in the community. I think it's certainly appropriate to say that this council, this government, is just truly moved and impressed when our scouts, our young men and women of our community are scouting in any manner. Y'all could share the mic, or y'all could each get your own. But we wanted to just bring them up and let them do a quick little introduction. If we could, pull it down if you don't mind. Do a quick introduction and recognize and acknowledge the fact that they're here. Dad, come forward. We don't take pictures from the back. Come take your pictures from the front and get them. Come up here, Dan. You all right? Yeah. This is important to us, and we thank you. I know you got to get them out of here. You was probably saying it's time to go to school, but thank you for giving them this little time. But both podiums are. We want to start here. You want to introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing here and how foolish we've been looking tonight?
Yeah. Well, I don't think you've been looking very foolish. I've just been trying to get a merit badge. Edwin McLean.
Edmund
Yeah,
Edwin McLean,
Yeah,
and you go to Cathedral Carmel?
yeah,
Great, great. And Troop 405.
yep.
Thank you so much. And you are?
Owen McLean.
Okay. Brothers?
Yes, sir.
All right. Twins?
No, sir.
No? Who's older?
Me.
Okay. All right. And you've enjoyed your time here tonight?
Yes, sir.
It's been okay?
Yes, sir.
We didn't look foolish?
No, sir.
Okay. And what badge are you working on?
Citizenship in the community.
Okay. Great, great. And what level are you guys in the Scouts?
I'm Star. He's. What are you, Owen?
Scout getting tenderfoot.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Well, again, we thank you all for coming. We thank you for giving us a little bit more time so you could be recognized. Katia, I think that's you, Bruce. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I apologize. I thought that was Bruce. Mr. Lewis, you wanted to tell him something?
Yes, congratulations, young men, and I have something for you guys. I represent the district where you go to school at. You guys know Miss Cook?
No, sir.
Y'all don't know Miss Cook?
We're homeschooled.
We homeschool. We go to the cathedral. Yeah, we go to church there. We don't go to school there.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right down and give y'all something, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming up. Clara, I'm glad you were still here before you left. We did not look foolish. I expect that to be in big letters, okay? That's by a scout. All right. Again, members, thank you for allowing me to deviate. I'm sure you all approve and appreciate that. So we'll now return back to our agenda. And I think we're on item number 15, Jeremy? Yes, sir.
Ordinance 42, 2017. An ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council adjusting the manning tables to account for 2 new police officer positions and to add additional promotions within the Lafayette Police Department.
Motion by Mr. Kunk, second by Mr. Nakane. Council discussion? Mr. Kunk?
Chief Aguilar, if you could, sir, very quickly, give us an indication of why you are asking for these additional police officer positions and also for the promotions.
Yes, sir. I've been engaged in reorganizing the police department since I took over as police chief in November. And part of my reorganization plan requires that I get these additional officers and the promotions. 2 of the sergeants will be placed at Precinct 4 as full-time desk sergeants so that it becomes a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week office open to the public. 2 of the additional sergeants would be added, one for the newly created, or the expansion of our juvenile investigative services, which will focus on many things, which includes child pornography cases, internet predator cases, and human trafficking cases. The last additional sergeant would be used in our, excuse me, going to the range. We are expanding the range and we're building a facility there. And so that sergeant would be in charge of those operations once that building is completed. We have one other promotion. It's I think we call it a DRC, Departmental Records Clerk. And that would be a supervisor. I'm placing all of the clerks under one direct supervisor, and that's why I'm asking for that promotion.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Any other council discussion? Is there any blue cards on this matter?
Thank you.
Okay, please call the vote.
District 7?
Yes.
Yes.
District 9? Yes. District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 43, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1617 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $10,631 from personnel salaries and retirement Medicare tax to appropriate within the promotion cost account of the Lafayette Fire Department to allow for fire engineer promotions.
Motion by Nakam. Second by Conk. Council discussion. There is none. Any blue cards? Please call the vote.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9, District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7. Motion is approved. Ordinance 44, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1617 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $275,000 from the LeBlanc Road Bridge No. 2 Replacement Project to the Hapsburg Lane Bridge Replacement Project and $275,000 from the Hapsburg Lane Bridge Replacement Project to the LeBlanc Road Bridge Replacement Project within the Public Works Department to facilitate the expenditure of earlier issued bond funds.
Motion by Nakam. Second by Cook. Council discussion. Mr. Lewis?
Yes, my question is, I see it says LeBlanc Road Bridge number 2, and at the bottom it says, Project 2 LeBlanc Road Bridge. Is that the same thing? LeBlanc Road Bridge 2? The same thing? Okay, thank you.
Right. Any other council discussion? Any blue cards on this item? Call the vote, please.
District 9,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4.
Yes.
District 5, District 6.
Yes.
District 7. District 8. Motion is approved. Ordinance 45, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1617 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing anticipated revenues by $10,000 based on fees related to the distribution of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government standard specifications for roads, drainage, bridges, and other infrastructure manual and appropriating within the Public Works Department Project Control Division to cover future printing costs.
Motion by Nakam. Second by Cook. Council discussion. Here's none. Blue cards. Please call the vote.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7. District 8.
Yes.
District 9.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 46, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette Mayor President to submit an application to the Keep Louisiana Beautiful organization for a Healthy Communities Grant for the Public Works Department Environmental Quality Division.
Motion by Conk, second by Lewis. Council discussion. There is none. Any blue cards? Call the vote.
District 2, District 3,
Yes.
District 4.
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7. District 8.
Yes.
District 9. District 1.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 47, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council establishing policy and procedure pertaining to relationships with external agencies with respect to funding and repealing Ordinance 111, 2005 as amended by Ordinance 283, 2010.
Motion by Lewis, second by Nakam. Council discussion. There is none. Blue cards. Please call the vote.
District 3? District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9? District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 49, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1617 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $30,000 from the Hugh Wallace Kali Saloom Intersection Improvements Project to the Sarah D. Parkway Speed Hump 3 project.
Motion by Cook, second by Nakam. Council discussion. There is none. Any blue cards?
We do have one speaker, Sean Comiskey.
We didn't look foolish, huh? All right. Only blue card? Okay, call the vote, please.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9. District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
All right, we're going to move to introductory ordinances. As, if there is anyone interested in taking these up in global, I'll accept that motion at this time. We're going to give that to Mr. Bellard, and we're going to get that seconded by Mr. Conk to take them in global, please.
Ordinance 50, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette Mayor President to accept certain property described hereinafter for the purpose of operating and maintaining the necessary sewer lift station and treatment plant facilities. Ordinance 51, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1617 operating and capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by creating a new combined city sales tax bond construction fund, rebudgeting multiple bond-funded projects, budgeting the fiscal year 1617 bond projects, and reimbursing Fund 401 project costs with bond proceeds resulting in a $1,969,812 reduction in the use of Fund 401 fund balance. Ordinance 52, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1617 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $200,000 from the East Pont de Mouton Road Widening Project to the West Pont de Mouton Road Improvement Project within the Public Works Department for additional funding needed. Ordinance 53, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1617 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $161,919 from specific South Buchanan Garage projects to the Buchanan Garage Improvements Project within the Public Works Department for additional funding needed. Ordinance 54, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1617 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $89,309.88 from various completed CIP projects to the Greenhouse Senior Center renovations within the Community Development Department, Human Services Division, Senior Centers. Ordinance 55, 2017, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council declaring the building or structure located at 719 North Sterling Street, Lafayette, Louisiana, owned by Michael Keith Bernard to be dilapidated and dangerous to the public welfare and ordering the condemnation of same.
Very much, Jeremy. Are there any council discussion on any of these items? Is there any council discussion on any of these items? There is none. Are there any blue cards for any of these items? Okay, please call the vote.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9? District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, Bruce.
No problem. You got my email?
Not, I probably did, but I didn't.